We made it to Fast 5:30, and this week I'm begging for your vote for a movie called Too Kind, because being unkind should come with punishments.
And I'm asking for your vote for Bambi's Revenge. Like Thumper always said, if you don't have something nice to say, get ready for Bambi to rip out your throat.
Friends, beer nerds, film fanatics, welcome back to Fast 5 number 30 on Beer Me That Movie. I'm John, your captain on this runway beer cart to cinematic chaos.
And I'm Harrison, here again because John promised there'd be snacks. Still waiting, John.
You ate them all before we hit record. Anyway, if you're new here, or you finally recovered from last week's psychedelic CEO odyssey, Giggle, here's the deal. We take 5 beer names, and then we spin them into 5 sort of unhinged movie ideas, and then we ask you to pick your favorite.
Think of us like film school, but with zero tuition and way worse advice. You get what you pay for.
Exactly. And speaking of last week's artful, awe-inspiring poem of humanity, let's revisit the psychedelic nightmare fuel known as Giggle Water.
Let's take a trip back in time to last week's winning feature. Was it a masterpiece or a mistake?
John, I'm still recovering from Giggle Water. I haven't been able to look at a CEO without picturing them tripping in LSD and peeing their pants and other people's pants.
Honestly, Harrison, you're right. Giggle Water got weird fast. The CEOs hallucinating up monsters and conspiracies. It reminded me a lot of like if Succession happened in a Grateful Dead concert.
Right. Or just like an average Elan Tusk Tuesday.
As Elan.
I said Elan.
Legally
I said
distinct.
Elan. Everyone, patent pending.
Totally fair. Anyways, if you missed Giggle Water, you can go back and you can watch it if you want to. If sanity is something that you value, then you can just listen to Harrison and I talk about what happened last week.
That's right. Sum it up nicely. Or not even sum it up, but share some thoughts. And I'd be remiss if we didn't start with what had me laughing the most, the whole pizza gong empire we created out of nowhere. How has nobody combined Chinese food and pizza yet? Are they doing that somewhere? I mean, this is just
not at a scale big enough.
Right. If they are, they're not sharing with people, and that's wrong. We learned that last week. If you got a great idea, share it. Don't hoard it and exploit it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to be pizza gong rich, but I would be just as happy to have a pizza gong in my neighborhood.
I was going to say, right.
Domino's, Pizza Hut, and Little Caesars all doing the same damn thing, thinking they're clever by putting pretzels on your crust.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Right. No. We can evolve beyond what can I shove in the crust of the pizza.
If you're gonna put something in the crust, put crab rangoon in the crust and make the crust the whole pizza.
Maybe that's how it started. Anyways, that I did not expect that, but maybe I should have, of having fun creating the Chocafeller family and Pizza Gong and Amazon and all these other
legally distinct businesses,
completely fake companies and businesses that totally don't exist. And yeah, that was a blast, building out the world of all these CEOs and kind of, you know, obviously goofing on them. It was designed to be kind of a mockumentary after all. And those are some of my favorite movies. Spinal Tap, Best in Show, all the Christopher Guest stuff. It's so funny to watch people making fun but taking themselves seriously, like all those movies do. So that was cool, even though we spent most of the time hallucinating and pretending to be CEOs out of our minds in a field somewhere, which was also fun. I loved the vibe of it, and we really didn't know where it was going to go. We just kind of, much like the CEOs, threw this idea out there and started rolling downhill with it. And I think we made, hopefully, something that you guys laughed at. Hopefully you also really want crab rangoon calzones, and are Googling frantically to see if some mom and pop shop is making one near you. That's our idea, by the way, patent pending.
Yeah, I'll tell you, after trying it, what you're going to learn is that you can probably find an egg roll wrapper that's big enough to get close.
Sure.
But the hard part is frying it enough to heat the
Right,
Rangoon
right,
all the way through.
right.
You almost need to like fry it and then throw it in the
I
oven.
was going to say, you need an air fryer. You need a huge oven air fryer, which we have. I need to make this. John was braver than I.
Everyone should be making this. Like, why do we do turkey for Thanksgiving? We've always done it. It's a little boring.
Always done it.
Name two people that don't fucking love crab Rangoon.
Crab is the turkey of the ocean. So let's start putting it in
This crab isn't even from the ocean, I don't think.
This crab is mostly
It's the first
cream
lab
cheese.
created meat.
Ooh.
You'll probably like if my dad would have listened to that podcast, he'd be like, "God, John, you're such a dumb lib." I think it leaned pretty heavy into like kind of bashing CEOs
Sure.
and super wealthy people. And regardless of what I want to say is that this wasn't meant to say all CEOs are dumb, useless people.
Sure.
I actually found it hard to put myself in the mindset of a CEO because I don't know what they think about
Exactly.
all day. But the assumption is they don't think about what they could do to really benefit anyone other than shareholders.
Right.
So that was I had a lot of fun kind of poking at some of those things and making them seem a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe they're not the most brilliant people.
Right.
Right. Like maybe they just take a fall good.
Right. I think comedy is always best when you're punching up, and up is CEOs and kings and yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, they're always a fair target. But, of course, it's a work of comedy. Plenty of CEOs out there that are great people. But that's not funny. No one wants to hear about that. They want to hear about Elon Musk and how Jeff Bezos used to be a clown and lost his wife during a business meeting.
And the star of the show, the Pizza Gong, I don't even know if we gave him a name.
We did it. It was just Pizza Gong. In my mind, he was Pete from Pizza Gong, but I never said that. But retroactively, I hope he's Pete from Pizza Gong, who is way over his head. He probably was like the child of the founder who suddenly died and inherited the empire that is Pizza Gong, which is why his lawyer was attached to his hip, because he has no idea what he's doing.
He's like the young, whatever, like the king, almost king, whatever it's called from Lord of the Rings.
The child king, the boy king, whatever it. Yeah, there's a bunch of those.
Still got a lot of old men that want to advise you on what to do.
Right,
like, hey,
exactly.
Kid, well, you really shouldn't take the Rangoon off the menu. It's kind of what keeps the lights on.
I think we need more people falling into the Rangoon pots. What? Who said that? Fire that person.
There's a high margin rate on lost people.
Exactly right. They don't cost anything if they disappear.
If they don't have a family, we don't even have to pay out death and dismemberment.
They tell you weren't even dismembered. They were rangooned.
Their soul will go on.
In every person that eats. Anyway.
Elton John starts singing Circle of Life.
Actual Elton John. They have him on retainer.
In the
just
circle.
Pops out of a Cadillac. Oh,
he's ours now. We bought him. He belongs to Pizza Gong.
All you have is crab rangoon calzones back here, and I think I heard some people have died of these things.
Pizza and the gong.
Right, good, Elton. One more time. I hate myself. Money, money, money. Here's the check. All right. Why don't I have 5 houses? Exactly. So anyway, love you, Elton. But yeah, Pizza Gong I think stole the show, but also it was, the whole point of that, right? And at a higher level, a narrative level, was to just kind of have that adventure of self-reflection, the power of psychedelics to have you imagine you're peeing rainbows and sparkles and seeing a unicorn in the field. But then now you're also realizing, oh, I'm angry all the time because my father was angry all the time. It's up to you, though, to do something about it. And if you're a crap person, regardless if you're a CEO or just a bully at some high school somewhere, well, I don't know if LSD will change that. Maybe it will. And maybe we can dream that dream together every time we think about Giggle water. But it was fun just kind of getting down in the dirt and the mud in our midnights, watching a bunch of grown men
peeing all over each other
and thinking they had, had genius ideas when it was just, it really wasn't. So I was happily surprised. It was fun to jump into that world. And again, at the end, the lesson, if there is any, is like, don't meet heroes. Don't even have heroes. Get out there, make your own future. Don't wait for somebody to come save you or save the world. Do it ourselves, folks. Be a CEO of your own life, John.
That's inspirational. I really dig that. And I like what you're saying earlier. Like, is any one thing gonna change you? Probably not, unless it's yourself. Maybe LSD will make it easier.
Right. You can see what could be, perhaps.
Again, I don't think legally I can say that you should take LSD. Maybe if you go to a state like Oregon, you could try mushrooms and see if that helps you realize some things that might make you happier.
Right. All I can do is show you the door. You got to walk through it. And keep walking through it every day.
Yeah, and it says pizza gong on top of the door.
And it smells like crab rangoon, a little bit of people, and calzones.
We change our fry grease once a month, at least.
At least. It's the best fry grease. That's the secret. We just don't change the fry grease as much as the FDA thinks we need to. Oh my gosh. Are those fake nails in there? No. All right. We got to really change this grease. But this will be good. Pizza, calzone, crab rangoon calzones coming out of this location. Okay. All right. Well, those are my thoughts. Any more from you, John?
Giggle water was fun. I like picking on people.
Well said. Like any good CEO. All right. So, John, is that a Volvo Corvette CZ71 I hear spooling up the turbos out back?
That's a great ear, Harrison. My shop teacher would be very proud of you, but no. That is a 1973 Tesla Land Rover, back when they were gas-powered.
Of course.
Bringing us the beer of the week.
Let's buckle up.
It's a podcast about turning beer names into movies. We need some inspiration.
Okay, this week's beer of the week is called Dive Beer. Ooh, look at how fancy it looks if you're watching it on wherever you watch stuff. So Dive Beer is from Sweetwater Brewing Company down in lovely Atlanta, Georgia. It is an American lager, comes in at 4% ABV. Oh yeah, nice. John's loving that. I'm loving that. And I'll just grab some quick notes from the brewery. They don't need to say a lot about this beer because it's a pretty simple beer. A crisp, no frills lager that channels a laid back spirit of dive bars everywhere. Dive Beer offers a fresh take on what it means to enjoy a simple, satisfying brew. Again, 4%. It's the ideal lager to dive into long nights and shared moments, offering a clean, crisp flavor, but refreshing and well balanced. So this guy, 4%, as we've said a bunch. It's got some Crystal and Hallertau hops in it if you care. Bunch of Pilsner malt, but I've had a bunch of them. They come in like 12 packs. They're very well priced, and as you guys know, I'm always on the hunt. We are always on the hunt for that next great lager we can chug in a garage, in a wood shop after mowing. This is, well, I'm curious your take on it, John. 4% though, got John excited, me excited.
We may dip into a few of these
tonight.
I'm an old man. I understand. I was there years ago. I was like, lager, all that old man beer. That's stupid.
Right.
Now I am an old man. I'm like, no, you're stupid, young John.
Exactly. Right.
I can't drink those that much anymore. We just finished lightning drops, and even what was that, 6%,
6.5? Yep.
Yeah, I was like, okay. This is beer I can feel.
Right.
This is beer I can drink.
This is beer I can drink.
So I'm excited to get a little taste. We've had lagers before.
We have had lagers before. This is the unofficial tour of all. If you're a craft brewery that also makes a lager, you have a high chance of getting on Beer Me That Movie.
Oh.
Ooh. Straight out of the can tastes just like a college beer. And I mean that in the best way. Oh, yeah. I want to fight someone on a boardwalk at the Jersey Shore right now, John.
Sounds like a college beer.
Sounds like a beer named Dive
Show
Beer.
me someone I can fight. Did you just look at my girlfriend?
Bro, did you touch my pinball table? That's my quarter. I'm up next. Give it back. I'll take off your head. Yeah. No, I love this one. This is a good one from Sweetwater. It's light. It's crisp. It's refreshing. And we may drink a few of them this evening. What are your thoughts, John?
I'm gonna be myself. I apologize. This is a little light for me. We've had light craft lagers on the show before, and sometimes I'll talk about how I like get a little corn flavor, or like a little anything flavor. This beer isn't far from a club soda. And I can see if it's a really hot day or something, like this might be exactly what you're looking for.
It is.
But if you want a lager that tastes a little bit more like beer, maybe this isn't the one that you're going to think of first.
No, it's not. This would go great with a shot of bourbon. It really would go great with a fight at the beach somewhere. You don't have a shirt on or shoes. You don't know why. Someone might have called you a name, insulted Leonard Skinner. The next thing you know, you've got a bloody lip and you're on the ground, and someone hands you a dive beer. And you're like, I'll get him next time.
I can drink this. Is this hydrating?
And I put it on my lip for a little bit.
I've had NA beer taste more beery. Like, perhaps that's a testament to maybe that this is what they were going for. They wanted to make a very clean beer, and they nailed it. I came into it expecting like, ooh, here's going to be a new fun spin on the flavor.
Yep.
You mentioned Hallertau hops and crystal malt.
Crystal hops too, which
Crystal
is I think
hops.
a British hop. Yeah.
So these aren't the hops that people think are sexy when they drink the haze.
Correct.
What's the point of adding hops to a beer like this?
Really, just so it doesn't taste cloyingly sweet and like fall off your tongue. Just enough at the back end there to let you know you're still drinking something and not have you go, oh, what was that? This tastes more like a club soda, really, even though club sodas kind of have that harsh finish from the carbonation that's in it. But yeah, and this is not a hoppy or bitter or anything. It's very, very light, as John said. But yeah, I guess the hops are hiding around in there. I will say, so it's the first time I've had it out of the can. I think it tastes wildly different when you pour it out. Like there's more happening, which should make sense.
Open up a little bit.
Yeah. So we'll sip on this tonight. Maybe it'll do some magic now that it's open in the air a little bit. But dive beer, sweet water. So as always, it's not going to power. It's not going to be a movie or a beer we make into a movie. Just powering us through as we jump into the Fast Five.
Now, just really quick, if you've listened before, you know that we don't usually stop for ads. We're not selling mattress subscriptions, personalized wind chimes, or beard oils distilled from actual Viking tears.
No, we're not. No custom artisanal pickles fermented by retired clouds. We wouldn't do that to you.
Never. But what we do love is hearing from you, the delightful maniacs who make all this madness worth it. Follow us on Beer Me That Movie on Instagram or TikTok or Untapped. Leave a comment, tag us in your beer posts, or scream into the void at speakpipe.com/beermethatmovie.
That's right. We'll scream back, or at least put that recording on this show. Seriously, we thrive on your chaotic energy. It fuels us more than caffeine, spite, and existential dread combined.
Those are my three motivators.
That's right. A little bit more caffeine, a little more spite.
I need more dread.
Too much spite.
Dread really gets me through the day.
Dread pulls the caffeine high down.
Exactly. It's a good balance. I'm a Libra. So reach out, say hi, tell us about your terrible movie ideas. Who knows? Your idea might just be bad enough to make it on this show.
All right, John, enough chatter. Let's crack open this beer or keep drinking it. It's got future cult classic written all over it.
For beer number one, and the first four submissions all come from you listeners.
Yes, you guys crushed it.
Thank you, sort of. Some of these are going to be tough. This one comes to us in a unique way. First time on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Listener Greg sent this to us in a comment from Fast Five number 28. He left a comment on Spotify where we launch our episodes. And on Fast Five 28, we did a beer called New Fallen, where we that movie idea devolved into somehow.
Or evolved.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, we're pitchmen. That movie evolved into somehow Bambi taking revenge on the hunter.
Right.
And when Greg was listening to that, he shot in a comment that said, actually, there's a beer by Red Heart Brewing called Bambi's Revenge.
I love it.
So that's going to be our first beer turn movie idea on this Fast Five.
Thank you, Greg Davis, as always. And the logo, which is behind us, if you're watching, if not, you can look it up. It's amazing. It's basically Bambi and Rambo, complete with the bandana combined. Bambo, Bambi's Revenge, double IPA from Red Heart. So, I mean, I don't even want to So first of all, I'm happy we're returning to a movie that Disney made famous, much like Big Nose, and now we're giving Bambi the Big Nose treatment. And I don't even want to overthink this. I mean, the high level take is it is Bambi and Rambo together. It's revenge on the hunter that killed his mother. It's and we can go down that road as deep as we want of, Bambi, to start out with like, an empty forest, a forest that used to be full of life, and the rabbits are gone, the birds are gone, the bugs are gone. Now it's this kind of desolate wasteland, some apex predator the local town's never heard of or seen of other than in the shadows, and when a child occasionally goes missing is probably clearing out this forest. Who is it and why? Of course, it's Bambi. Getting stronger, a thirst for blood now, out for revenge on the hunter that killed her, whatever mother. Bambi is a movie.
I was going to ask, was Bambi I don't know if Bambi was a boy or a girl
Bambi.
Deer.
I don't know either.
It was a deer.
It's a deer, so genderless. No, it's a deer. So I don't know.
They.
I think technically, but
Bambi's mother was a girl.
Sure.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. And the funny thing about Bambi is I was trying to recall this movie is all I remember is Bambi's mom gets shot. Thumper says, if you know something nice to say, don't say anything at all. And the song April Showers, that's it. I don't remember the plot.
You remember two more things than I do.
I don't remember what the goal of the Bambi and their friends were. I don't remember anything about it. I don't know what the hell the story was.
To start this.
Right.
Because we know the most important thing that anyone remembers from Bambi is that Bambi's mother died. For anyone around our age, that was probably like the first moment of television you saw that made you feel sadness.
Right.
If you're a guy, that's a feeling you get sometimes that might feel
when your
like
Super
anger.
Bowl team loses, right?
Like you might mistake it for anger, and that's okay. But I think statistically it was sadness, and so Bambi's mother was taken away from Bambi and us, and some of us, myself included, have gone on to hunt deer.
Right.
And eat them and found joy in that.
Forget the lesson we learned.
Exactly. There was a time where I thought that hunter that shot Bambi was the biggest dick I had ever met.
Yeah.
Even though I just watched him on TV. But
so
Bambi's Revenge is a beautiful story idea.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so Bambi has to raise itself.
Yep.
And Thumper's there. Maybe Thumper, you said, I didn't know this, but Thumper's the one that said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. That was the first bit of coaching.
Right.
But then also Thumper was like, if someone kills your mom, the best thing you can do is kill their whole family. Erase their species from the earth.
Right.
Flames.
Thumper was a madman, unknown to us at the time. We thought he had some whimsical phrases with a little bit of wisdom to it. Nope, that was the only good phrase Thumper had. Everything else was madness because he had rabies. and somehow it hasn't killed him yet. It just made his brain larger, but also the rest of his body larger to keep up. So Bambi's kind of this mutant, huge bunny now. And Thumper is rather. And Bambi, is like, gosh, it could be. We could also maybe sprinkle a little bit of this in here. Tell me what you think about this, John. So, like, in Beer With That Movie fashion, let's have like ooze, some waste, something created by man. Maybe get into this forest, some toxic dump.
I'll tell you what. There's a beautiful park near where I live.
Yeah,
and when I was into photography, one of my first photo albums was just trash in this beautiful park.
What are we doing, people?
And in the water next to all the turtles. There's like sunken beer cans and Mountain Dew bottles and stuff. So we don't even really have to fabricate this.
Oh yeah, this is
Bambi's home, the forest, is being overrun with like old Chevys and people's dishwashers that stopped working for a little bit and now are sitting out there, and
maybe this is getting deeper by the moment, but there's this wild thing happening in Africa now and other parts of the world, India too, where like humans are encroaching on like the big cats' territory, but building houses and apartments and whatever, and they're like, we got nowhere else to go, so we're coming into your town and grabbing you out of your bed at night. Maybe that a little bit of that is happening too. So people are polluting Bambi's woods. The woods are getting smaller by the day.
Yep, housing pops up.
Exactly right. They've tried to stay out of the humans' ways as they're getting bigger and hulking out on the toxic water they have to drink because that's all that's left. And eventually they can't avoid the humans any longer. And this kind of war begins between Bambi and Thumper and whoever the hell else, that skunk. I don't remember all the creatures that are alive and
there's more.
I think so.
Skunky,
some butterflies,
butterfly,
right.
Boy and girl.
but that's where that's the inciting incident is some engineer or some construction worker sits down to have a lunch break on a log he just cut down that was one of the oldest trees in Bambi's forest, and he gets dragged into the woods by a hulked out, vampire toothed Bambi that's jacked and terrifying and no longer has hooves, but has like kind of some mutant kind of claw thing.
I'm definitely picturing like AI. Someone told AI to like make Bambi the biggest alpha male UFC fighter the world has ever known.
There you go.
Special Forces Bambi.
Exactly. So all these mistakes that humanity has thrown in this woods to try and forget has created its ultimate demise. And we can have fun with this, and there can be maybe some fun end game where the Bambi crosses paths with like the hunter or the son of the hunter who killed his mom, and
definitely the end game. It sort of reminds me of Rally Point, the movie we made with like the battle against the sheriff that was
of course.
Somewhere towards the end, the hunter's son has become some sort of big wealthy CEO. Some of that wealth comes from polluting the forest. Maybe he's just a housing executive.
Sure.
But eventually the showdown is between Bambi and the hunter's son.
Oh, yeah.
The hunter's this is Fast Five, so we can make changes if we make this a feature. But the hunter, as I see it, is still alive.
Okay.
He's in his 60s. His son is taken over.
Right.
He still likes to hunt, but his son is the one that Bambi goes after.
Yeah.
He took Bambi's mom. Bambi's about to take his son.
Aha. An eye for an eye.
A son for a mom.
The true spirit of revenge.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to watch your son as I bleed him dry. Bambi barks at him in deer language.
Pushes him in front of a car on a back road because that's deer's most
right.
tactic.
Thumper's driving it or Bambi's driving the car. Just blasts him, hits him with an 89 Bronco, just sends him flying 50 feet into the woods. How do you like it?
Thumper smoking 2 cigarettes.
Absolutely. A lady skunk on each arm. Oh my God. Just living the high life. I'll say something nice. Go fuck yourself. Bam. Oh boy. So we'd have fun with the artwork. With that one. And again, we can do this. Big Nose, we thought that would be tough. None of these are easy. They're all fun and a blast, but weaving the web that turns into a story always makes our brains hurt a little bit. But we got this one. This would be fun to do. We'll basically make it Rambo with Bambi. We'll have our fun, our take on it, and have a sweet showdown at the end of it. I like this.
Yeah.
I like this.
I don't know how well it works into the movie, but like somewhere Bambi takes a human finger
of course,
and attaches it to Bambi's hoof And that's what it uses for a trigger finger for the machine gun.
Right, exactly. Your fangs and your hooves aren't enough, Bambi. We have to take out this whole town. We need to grow appendages.
You
no
need a
time.
machine gun.
Right, exactly. I'll steal fingers. I'll steal the weapons.
Thumper comes running up to stitch it in there.
Right, exactly. Right.
Thumper's basically Bambi's Q from 7-Eleven.
Right, yeah, exactly right. Yes, yeah, 007's Q is Thumper.
7-Eleven. Yeah, that's the American 007.
The bargain bin 007. Secret. Are you a secret agent, man?
Two
No.
Frosties and a hot dog wrapped in carbohydrates, please.
Secret sausage, man. Secret hot dog boy. That's what I am. I'm here sweating and eating. What are you doing in 7-Eleven? Just trying not to shit my pants. All right. So, Bambi's Revenge from Red Heart. Greg, I hope we did that one justice for you. Heck, maybe we'll get a second chance next week if it becomes the feature.
Only you will know. But on to beer number 2.
Let's crack open another beer and another story. Next up.
Beer number 2 comes from Brian, who sent us a DM on Untapped and asked us to maybe think about doing Three Heads Brewing beer called Too Kind.
T-O-O, too kind.
You're just too kind. It's not a problem we very often face in the world.
Too sweet.
You're just too kind. It's a story about everyone in the Midwest.
That's what I was going to say. So when I saw this, I still remember her name. I had a waitress once called Gina. It wasn't in Michigan. It wasn't at a Bill Knapp's, which no longer exists, but it was at another restaurant. Son of a gun. Forgot the name of it. Also doesn't exist. They had great onion rings. Only in Michigan.
I love onion rings.
She was like, it was my mom, my brother, and I when I was probably 10, maybe 12. And she was the nicest human in the world. Too nice. And so much so that my mom was like in the middle of dinner, like, do you think our waitress, Gina, is too nice? She would like show up out of nowhere, big smile, just a classic, lovely Midwestern person. My mom is from the Midwest. So when someone from the Midwest says, this person is it's too kind, you're like, holy crap, what is this person doing? And she was amazing, best waitress I've ever had. So I remember her now, 30 plus years later, Gina, you did a great job delivering onion rings and everything else we needed that night. Even if you checked on us every 35 seconds, it might have just been her first day, but anyway, I've experienced the true kindness of the Midwest, John. It's the best.
What did it make you think when your mom said too kind? Were you thinking like she's trying to kidnap us, or she's in trouble? She needs help?
She's on drugs. She's had some Giggle water. You know, I don't know.
Are you the CEO, Gina?
Right, as a 12-year-old, I was like, I don't know. This lady seems great. If maybe too involved in our dinner.
Yeah. Sometimes you go out to dinner to actually have a conversation.
Right. And it's tough when someone's popping in, giving you a new fork every 15 seconds. But again, it was all love, Gina. I wonder where she is right now. My
God,
gosh.
that happened to me just recently. It was just a regular server.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm meeting a friend here. We're going to talk a lot. We're going to order some food. We're going to tip you. But if you could just like, like, I don't know how to say this politely, but
don't worry about it.
Like,
right.
I don't need anything. All the food is good. Everything's fine. I'm really just here to hang out.
Yep.
Cool. How's that soup?
Yep. Oh my God.
Okay. I'm
just as good as it was a minute ago. When
having
you
a hard
the first
time trying to keep a train of thought going. So
right.
okay, so I've
can be
experienced
invasive.
that before.
Yes, too kind can be a little too much.
And so my initial thought is too kind is it's here we go, beer me that movie. Small town.
Always.
Sort of think like Stephen King, maybe like small
okay.
town.
I like that. Okay.
Very Americana, like everyone's baking a pie. Lawns are mowed.
Yes.
We have free muffins today. Thanks for ordering the coffee. Don't forget to take any muffin you want for free. Like everyone's very nice.
It sounds great.
And probably muffins. A new family moves into this town, and it's beautiful. It's picturesque. Everyone's so kind here. And then they start to realize that there's a cost for messing up. Like, you forgot to say thank you when Sally brought her casserole over. We're going to take you and your family to the Gratitude Re-Education Center for the weekend.
Right. Oh boy. Oh, exactly. This is the fear. This Stepford Wives type life. It's why I don't trust nice people. Because of the Stepford Wives or Pleasantville or whatever, where it's like, how many bodies do you have in your closet that you're, putting on this much of a facade to be so super nice.
Great, Harrison. Want me to come over and help you remodel your closet?
Exactly.
No,
I don't want
stop
anything.
being so damn nice. I'm scared of you.
Right. So I like this idea. This is a great kind of, beginning to what could be a fun Beer Me That movie where we throw these normal family into this kind of surreal world. Everybody's too kind and too nice and too everything. And what do? And it could be, I mean, man, this could go a million different ways. We can't do the water, we just did that, but is there something in the air that maybe the wife is also beginning a little too nice, but the husband isn't yet?
Sure, honey, butt stuff's great.
Right.
Great.
Maybe I do like it here.
Yep.
I can get used to this.
Changing the mail address right now.
Right, okay, I won't sit my gum out on the ground anymore, I guess. That means I get what I want. No gratitude re-education center for me. So, yeah, do they try to assimilate? Do they try to resist? Is it a Stepford Wives type thing where, like, there's something supernaturally nefarious going on? Or is it more grounded in reality? We're right, like, there's kind of this forced niceness by the elite of the town, and there's kind of an underground trying to resist this, and maybe Dylan gets pulled into that. He volunteers to be part of like the town watch one night, and someone speaks to him from a bush of, I saw you didn't hold that door earlier today for Mrs. Nancy and almost knocked her teeth out. God, please don't send me to the... No, it's okay, Dylan. I, too, try to knock her teeth out with the door.
We support the freedom to decide.
Right. To knock over old ladies in the library. We're just human. We're all human. This place is crazy. So is there, some secret force that's trying to return some normalcy to this town that's been taken over by overly nice, too kind people, and it's a battle of good and too good.
I like the idea that it's caused by... like an order in the town. The town's run effectively by a cult. This isn't nothing new for Beer Me That movie.
Yeah, we love
but
cults.
I like the idea that there's a cult and a resistance.
Yeah, that's fun.
There's a probably not common, but in my marriage, there's a common ethical dilemma where the question is, if you're driving past someone that needs help and it wouldn't really put you out to help them, do you have an obligation to help them? So we're not saying like, would you? We're just saying, are you obligated? And my argument with my wife is always, if I'm obligated to help that person because I can, in today's world, then I'm also obligated to just go home, open up every charity on the internet, and donate to every charity until I can't afford to anymore. So I was like, the obligation to help, it needs to come from like goodwill. You can't be obligated to help.
Right, sure,
and
of course.
I think this movie kind of bakes down to that at its core. Like, everyone's too kind, but they're being forced to.
Yeah. And I'll share a cautionary tale about people on the side of the road for a minute. Do not stop. So I had a girl I went to high school with driving alone one night in a back road, comes up to a person laying on the ground in the middle of the road. Oh my God. Everyone in the world you would assume, think, my gosh, what's wrong? I got to help. She hesitates, some sixth sense, whatever. This is right around the time cell phones started existing, but we're you didn't always think, I'll go to my phone, all the answers are there. But I think she had a cell phone. She decides against it, stays in her car, drives around the person, and picks up her phone to probably call 911 or the police. As she drives and looks in her rearview mirror, the guy gets up and two other people run out of the woods, grab him, and they book it. It was a trap to get her to stop, and who the hell knows what those freaks were going to do. So fuck people on the road. They're probably there to kidnap you, especially if you're a pretty girl in high school. Do not stop.
That's totally
no obligation.
Fair.
Just call the cops and let them deal with it.
I think that's
that's what cell phones are for.
That scheme is not uncommon. I mean, I won't say that it's common.
Yeah,
but
maybe not anymore. It's all moved online now. Rarely do crimes happen in person.
Get them to stop, and then once they get out of the car, then now it's your car.
Or you're human, right? Jeez.
Or
both.
Worse.
Oh my God!
You don't want to end up like Muffin on the backside.
That's right. Exactly right. Pushing carts and sucking farts or whatever. whatever she had to
That
do.
is the least of her worries. There was a whole
That's right.
human-sized
And clones,
penis
right?
made of ranch testicles.
Forgot about the ranch
Okay,
testicles.
so here's just a random aside. If everyone loves ranch dressing, but if to get your ranch dressing you had to milk it from a penis-shaped object, would you still ask for ranch as much?
That's about what a Hidden Valley Ranch bottle looks like. So I know from my pizza tonight. Yeah, I probably milk it is different. You're right.
You just have to work it from the base to the tip,
Right, at
to
least
get your
once.
ranch out.
I love ranch, so I guess I would, John. I guess.
Can I
would.
put it into a cup?
Right, has to go right in your mouth, sir. It's a weird golden
Bite
corral.
the pizza, take the ranch.
That's right. This is a Pizza Gong exclusive.
Oh God, this is getting okay.
Anyway, so back to Two Kind. So I speaking of gross things, Two Kind. So yeah, again, the core of this movie, I think we've got the bad guys, the good guys, or the good guys and the gooder guys. I think that's plenty. The bones are here for something to become a feature where we've got, right, the goody two shoes versus the normal people in some kind of showdown to just regain normalcy in this town. And what happens, we don't know. We got to figure that out if it becomes a feature. But plenty here to wonder and worry about. We've got cults. We've got people with secrets. We've got cults. We've got a family in a small
the
town.
Gratitude Re-Education Center reminds me of like the place you go if you mess up in Severance.
Right. Oh, the break room.
Yes. There could be a little bit of fun to be had. It could be fun to work on. We'll only do it if you vote on this as your favorite feature film at the end of the episode.
That's right.
We've got 3 more.
But that was a good one from Brian, as always. Yeah. Okay. Before we jump to the next beer, quick update. If you guys didn't hear last week or see us post about it a bunch, we have launched our own vault. That's right. So go over to beermethatmovie.com and you can vote for your favorite vault beers. So if you're new here, vault beers are the previous Fast Five beers that didn't make the cut, but maybe they should have. So they deserve a second chance, and that second chance is up to you. So go vote on the beer ideas you liked from previous Fast Fives, and we'll do something with that information. Who knows what? Stay tuned to find out. But for now, we've got 2 more submissions tonight for this Fast Five from people just like you. So let's keep going on to beer number 3.
Every great story starts with a beer.
So for beer number 3, we've got this one submitted by Lance, sent us a DM on Untapped, and it's made by Breckenridge Brewing, and it's called Secret Knock.
Secret Knock.
Any boy that had a female sister or cousin or anything,
okay.
you all know about like the Secret Knock, the boys club. This is where my brain goes immediately.
Right.
But then
That's
there's
a good
like
point.
that time in America where we weren't allowed to have alcohol.
Yes, exactly.
There's a lot of uses for Secret Knock, but it's a good name.
That's a good point. There's a lot of history here, like the speakeasies and the boys club or girls club or whatever growing up. Lots of secret knocks floating around in the ether, in the zeitgeist. But in Beer Me That Movie, we're going to get even weirder with it because we can't help ourselves. So for this, my gosh, kind of first thoughts, well, knocking. We probably need a door. Doors are in houses. And other places.
I like the way your mind works
I
here.
guess we don't need a door.
You're like a professional foreman.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You're going to
George.
need a house if you want a door.
That's right. Sure, I'll probably build the house first. Put the doors on later. All right, where's my check? You pay me for my mind, not my hands.
Now go hire someone to build it.
Oh my gosh. But let's so I have some thoughts about what this could be, John. Let's have it be, so again, a classic Beer in That Movie setup, but someone, man, maybe inherits, let's say inherits, instead of new family in a new town. Switch it up a little bit. And if we're going to do a door in a house, let's have the house be inherited or given, whatever, to someone. Used to be their grandfather's house. They get it. They're down on their luck human for whatever reason.
Lance, I don't know if your grandpa is still with us, but in this movie, you inherit his house.
Maybe
he just retires to live on a boat and bang strange Florida women.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Actually, not too bad. Yeah.
So he's
take the house. I'm out.
Exactly right. Just don't tell him I'm still alive. They think I'm dead, and as far as anyone knows, I am, or I will be soon. But until then, I'll be knee deep in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers cheerleading squad. All right, Grandpa, have fun. But anyway, so Lance or whoever gets this house from their grandpa, and all I have so far is like, it's a normal-ish house, except there's one door in the basement that has a sign above it that says "Do not knock."
Great start.
And that's it. And
it's happy, it's idyllic.
Right. It's an opportunity. He thinks his life is getting better, this Lance, this person. I got a house. I got a new start, a new city. Ba-da-da-pop. I can do what I want. There'll be a fun montage at the beginning where he's listening to Frank Sinatra music and picking out furniture and throw pillows and painting walls and things look good. But then he stumbles upon the door in the basement that says "Do not knock," and it infects his mind. He can't stop thinking about it. John, what's behind that door? Why can't I knock? Can I even open it?
A 3-word command that starts with "do not."
Oh my gosh.
Ends with the one thing I want to do so bad. Like, do not eat. Like, you could put that on poison, and I'd be like, nah,
that's right.
I probably could, because it tastes so good.
I'm 3 crab rangoon calzones deep already, fool.
This is great. So do not knock now it becomes almost like one of those kind of thriller movies.
Sure.
Where we're in the house with Lance. He's thinking about the door. Maybe even he just tap tap, knocks on it, and nothing happens.
Or touches it and maybe hears something or feels something behind it, some vibration, and he's like, "Oh God."
Grandpa was probably crazy. That's probably where all the heater and everything is.
Exactly.
Let me check for the house, and he's going through the house, and it's somewhere in this movie. It's not the feature yet. This is just a fast 5. Somewhere in the movie, he discovers that there's like messages of like infinite knowledge, a chance to rewrite your own past, almost like mentioning this secret space. And it all comes back to the house. Like maybe it's tied to the address or something.
Right.
But all these sort of like cryptic things make him think, he starts to put together that something beyond this door, connected to this door, has some sort of magical power, according to the old Reader's Digest things that my grandpa used to scribble in.
Right. Maybe even he goes to the town hall, pulls it because he's like, what the hell is this thing? I can't find, I don't know what's going on behind this door in my house. Goes to the town hall, pulls the plans, and they're like, well, that basement was filled in 25 years ago. And he's like, well, and he doesn't say anything at the time. And he's like, yeah, I don't know why they don't do that every once in a while. They'll do it to a house, but must have been something down there that they didn't like and they wanted to cover up. This seeming well-to-do person at town hall is telling him. And he walked away with that thinking like, my gosh, there's something behind that door they wanted to hide. My grandfather didn't hide it. He lied about it, said he filled it in or forged or whatever. What was he doing down there? I got to know. And so it'll get to that point where he hits the threshold of I can't wait anymore. I got to knock. And he does. Ooh. And what's going to happen?
So my first thought wraps up the whole film. Maybe it stays, but he knocks on the door. Nothing happens. Eventually, somehow, maybe his grandpa's record is playing, and it's got like a dun 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 dun, and he keeps hearing this beat, and then he tries it on the door, and something happens that allows him to almost be granted a wish. Like he's wanted to learn where when you poop and you're not connected to plumbing. The
outhouse?
The field in your
the septic?
The septic field. Yeah. Thank you for following that, Harrison. He's like, I need to learn where the septic is because I think there's a problem. And he's focused on that, and he figures out the knock, and then instantly he knows where the septic is. And he's like, holy shit, this door is magic. And he starts like unraveling and unraveling. The catch though is that every time he gets one of these things granted, it costs him a memory. And the end of the film is his grandpa showing back up with his new bride.
Of course.
And and Lance doesn't know who he is, so he kills his grandpa or something because he's lost so much of his memory.
Right, he's losing it in the basement, trying to gain things.
I know where the septic is.
What matters, right? Exactly right. I know how to do math now, but I forgot who this man is. Is that my grandma? She looks my age. Right. Ooh. All right, that could be fun. Some mysterious door that knocking on it gives you something but takes even more as a price for that knowledge. We've all been there with some Garden of Eden, well, maybe not, but some kind of, what is it, Faustian choice?
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
Yeah,
where you're like, all right, this is good, but is it? What's the catch? There's always a catch, folks.
A devil's bargain.
Yeah, exactly right. This one might be a little too much.
Rich now, but I own your soul. Great.
Sounds good. I'm doing anything with it. So
do I get pizza gong?
Keep shoving crab rangoon calzones in my face. Whatever you want. Maybe that's all little Lance will have left. But I don't know. Maybe not. That'll be for us to figure out if we make this thing a feature and go knock it on this door, see what the heck happens to Lance this time. If we end up picking Secret Knock.
Great submission. We got one more coming up next.
Let's crack open another beer and another story.
So for our fourth user submission, this comes from Rhett. It was a DM on Untapped. It's made by Indigeny Reserve. Technically, this is a dry cider.
Nice.
But the name is for Harrison. So this beer is called Grannies Gone Wild.
Grannies Gone Wild. Oh,
I mean, I know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking donks dancing in big panties. Spring break for grandma.
Exactly.
Picking up 3 or 4 guys at the same time because she's got the nice hotel room.
Yes. And I think that's it. It can be kind of Thelma and Louise type kind of break out of the retirement home, 3 wild grandmas type movie where they're escaping their boring life, or maybe there's some rich, no good investor folks who are going to buy it and outsource all the help to robots or whatever. The future at the retirement home looks bad. So these grannies take it into their own hands and basically try to escape. But maybe it's like, maybe they do more than that, or they're kind of forced to do more than that. My kids have all my money. I don't have access to any real funds. What are we going to do, Janice, or whatever? So it starts out as a jailbreak movie, but now that they're on the run, they've got to find a way to make a living. And sure, they're going to start flashing their boobs online. A lot of boobs online, folks. It's not the market it used to be. So maybe these grannies need to go wild in another way, John.
That's true. If you can't even make money showing your boobs, we know we're nearing the end times.
That's very true. It's one of the 4 horsemen.
Exactly. When boobs are no longer profitable, we're screwed.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're done anyway. It's game over. What are we waiting for?
Well, robot boobs is what we're waiting for. Bigger,
right.
smaller,
Try
rounder,
once.
taller. Jiggle them.
Scarier. Colder.
Unscary. Never mind. I take that back. Never let me say that again. So at this point, I almost want it to be like you said, Thelma and Louise. I think like A-Team.
Right.
Like these 4 grannies. They all have like a back, like one of them was a burlesque dancer, so she's a little ninja-y. Right. One of them makes really good cookies and just so happens to know how to build a Molotov. So like they've got a certain skill set that comes with the wisdom of surviving the Great Depression.
Right. Yes. And so instead of going quietly into the night, they go on like they could even start, maybe maybe the person who takes over the retirement home like owns a bunch of banks or crypto or investments or
Definitely
whatever.
crypto.
They figure out like where
they own DraftKings.
Right, like how to they own Draft Queens. But they figure out how to break them. They figure out like what bank they use or company they own or whatever, and they go rob it. And they're like, we're gonna take like they try to take our life.
Heist.
Right. Now it's grandmas robbing from the bad, shitty investor dudes who are stealing their retirement home from them. They're going to one-up them. They're going to take their freedom back by destroying this dude's life in a series of kind of crime-related events.
The grannies remember 8-tracks, cassette tapes.
Sure.
Phones with cords on them.
I was going to say, right, they use their knowledge of older technology to overcome the newer.
And the crypto guy's like, all my money's secure. It's totally untraceable. Right. And they're like, look, his hard drive farm is just off of I-34. No one guards it. We could just go there and steal the hard drives.
Exactly right.
And we have his money. I don't think he understands how easy it is to steal all of his cryptocurrency.
Right. Exactly. I love, yes. Yeah. So they use their knowledge of how the world actually works or used to work or whatever to outsmart this dude and get their lives back, or at least, bankrupt him enough that he can't buy the retirement home anymore. And it ends with them, teaching classes on how to write code to hack into crypto farms or how to flip a secretary into letting you into the back door of a server room.
Bring Mildred's cookies.
Right, exactly.
And I like the idea that they become like a hero for Gen Z. Like one of them ends up on TikTok.
Of course.
And then all the Gen Z kids are like, yes, this is the life that we want to learn. Like we want to know about vegetables and
that's good
granny
too.
Stuff.
They reach out to the youth through the TikTok and actually make a connection outside of it. That could be fun too. They could be an inspiration for a whole generation of, wow, these old people really knew how to live beyond their phones. A lot of skills out there. I want to learn it too.
True. My shoe came untied, so I told her I needed to stop and get new shoes, and she showed me this trick where you can put it back together like it's from the store.
That's right. Actually, you can re-tie your shoes, guys.
It doesn't cost anything. It's really simple. It's just about 2 rabbits chasing or something.
Right. It hurts to bend over a bit, but I hear it's good to use those muscles in your back. So they put, you're right, exactly, the whole paraplegic generation that's just stuck in a lazy boy somewhere, trying not to get absorbed by Zalob while they play their Switch, gets them standing up, moving around, tying their shoes again, and there's a whole domino effect of these grannies gone wild that changes the world forever. And the crypto bro is sad and crying in his empty pool and his empty house because he has nothing, and the grannies are rich with fake money.
True. Maybe one of them ends up being his grandma.
Would that be nice? Or he never had a grandma and he's sad, and
something like that.
They take him under their wing. And
if you want to figure out, vote for this as your feature film at the end of this episode. But now we've got a hard mission here. We got to find one more of these beers based on what you're all drinking at the time of our recording. So we're going to come back with beer number 5 live as it gets checked in on Untapped.
This next beer has a lot to live up to. No pressure, little guy.
For our 5th beer, and our first one from the Untapped check-in feed, this one's given to us by a user named Tunnel Rat.
That's right.
Which will make the protagonist part of this game a little harder. Tunnel Rat.
T-Rats.
South Lagastan.
Very south.
This beer's made by Mascot Brewery, and it's called Frosthammer.
Frosthammer. Oh boy.
Something ice melter.
Exactly.
Like, the two have to be connected.
I mean, we saw this and both slammed on the brakes and said, my God, is this the sequel to Ice Melter? But I think, John, instead of the sequel, the prequel. So for those who are just catching up, Ice Melter is our 4th or 5th.
It's pretty early on. 4th or 5th sounds right.
Early on, one of our features. It's one of my favorites. If you haven't listened to it, go back and check it out. It's a Goonies type adventure. It's a lot of fun. But the crux of it is Ice Melter is this sword, this fire sword that can basically be powerful enough to melt away an avalanche that's trapped a small town. But why does it exist? Not to melt avalanches, because long ago in that valley, in that town, there were ice giants, and someone had to use Ice Melter to slay them all and send them to sleep. So I think we get to see that story. We get to see the ice giants wielding these frost hammers, and it's humanity's living under the frost hammer of injustice and slavery, and they're mining ice all day or whatever.
Definitely mining ice for the ice giants.
Exactly right. And this is the origin story, really, of Ice Melter. And that the universe hides in a cave near this town, and only one man can remove it, much like the Sword in the Stone, to slay these giants for the first time. So we get to see the other side, the beginning of Ice Melter, the origin story of that, the battle with Frosthammer, who is, it's not a hammer, maybe it also is, but the lead ice giant's name is Frosthammer, John, the king of the ice giants.
Oh.
His name is Frosthammer, and he also has a Frosthammer. Sure, fine, we'll do both.
That'd be like Thor being named Thor.
What's it called?
Thing
Thing like that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
It's hard to say
The name of
unless
his
you are
hammer
a god.
is awesome.
That'd be like Thor's hammer being named Thor.
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
Easy fix.
Got it. Nailed it. But something like that. That's what I have. We can figure out the details of it, but I love Ice Melter. I would love to see a prequel of it and see what those ice giants were up to and what happened before Ice Melter. What forged the legend that became Ice Melter. We could play in that world.
The humans rebel against the ice giants.
Exactly.
Maybe somehow Frosthammer, the giant, or the hammer is used to create the Ice Melter.
Sure.
And the ice giants, the rebellion slays an ice giant. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's a great opportunity to paint a story of
Exactly.
Ice Melter before the kids in the hockey magic. And
we get to go back like a never-ending story type time, an ancient time, a time of little hope as the ice giants ruled the earth.
back when people had names like Shoemaker and Tunnel Rat.
Perfect. Exactly right. Tunnel Rat was the one who dug the tunnels that people used to escape before the ice giants shut them down and killed anyone who was seen near the tunnel. Tunnel Rat risked it all. So Tunnel Rat would be a great, and maybe Tunnel Rat the one who, as he's dying, Tunnel Rat's wife cries over his dead body, and those tears, once they hit the ice, start to sparkle, and an angel, a sexy nun, something emerges from the metasphere, and out of those tears raises Ice Melter, a sword born of pure love and fiery passion.
Yes. The key to your freedom is a sword.
Is an awesome sword that's totally not a lightsaber, but instead a flaming sword.
Yeah, made of ice.
Made of ice
but
that's on
flaming
fire.
Ice. How else could you beat a frost hammer,
That's
giant,
right.
or the actual hammer?
That's right. It'll be obviously an awesome scene when we chop Frosthammer's hand off that has the hammer in it with Ice Melter, and it falls to the ground, shattering into a million pieces, and the humans win. Send the ice giants to sleep with the power of Ice Melter. Or do they? I don't know. I mean, we get to figure that out. We know what happens in Ice Melter. We don't know exactly.
They almost wake up again.
That's right. We know how we get there. And we know what happens then, how we get there. We never got to explore the backstory. So Frosthammer would give us a chance to do it.
Writing a movie with rules, not something we're used to here.
We'll figure it out. Rules are meant to be bent and broken and goofed on. That's what we do.
So that takes us to 5 beers, as is Instagram-led tradition. Speaking of rules, we're going to have 4 of these that you can vote on in our social media poll starting right now.
That's right. Now we got to pick them. We got to chuck one of these, worst case, into the vault, but off of this week's voting. So what are you thinking, John?
Usually that's what I do to you.
I know. John will throw that to me.
So we had Secret Knock, we had Grannies Gone Wild, we had Too Kind, which was kind of fun, and
Of
Bambi's
course,
Revenge,
Bambi's Revenge.
which sounds like a lot of fun.
That I think is a lock. For me, I think Bambi's Revenge is in.
And
it should be too fun.
So mechanically, I do all my decisions like a spreadsheet, so I don't have to feel bad.
Good.
So we had 4 user submissions.
Right.
I generally want to keep them in. Frosthammer's great, but it's also like we could put it in the vault. We could leave it there. I don't know. Like maybe one day we do a vault Fast 5 or something like. We'll figure out what happens with the vault once you people start voting on it.
That's true.
Or tell your friends to vote on it just simply based on the names. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But we can use the vault to inspire a vault-related feature film or series.
Sure.
For the meantime, I say we take Frosthammer out. We pack it safely in the vault where it belongs, both the giant and the hammer.
Good.
And we run with 4 user-submitted beers out on Instagram. Send us a message on Spotify. Vote any way that you communicate with us. It'd be really cool if you went to speakpipe.com/beermethatmovie and actually submitted a vocal vote.
Ooh.
Gave us some inspiration, maybe. I would count that as 2 votes.
I was going to say, that counts as 2 votes. If you call in as SpeakPipe and tell us why you're picking it, that's 2 votes easily. All right, cool. So that post should be up on Instagram now. But again, SpeakPipe will probably have a vote or a poll rather on Spotify. Just let us know, however you let us know other things, what you want. But I'll definitely be looking at the Instagram poll the most. So if you have a second, please go over there so I see it. But we'll do our best to find the votes wherever you're sending them for either Grannies Gone Wild, Secret Knock, Too Kind, or Bambi's Revenge. Oh boy. So that one will definitely get the movie man going.
Well, that wraps up Fast 5 number 30, which means we've only got 29 more to do.
Whew.
You've heard the beers, you've heard the pitches, now it's your turn. As we said, make sure you head out to Instagram and vote for your favorite beer movie pitch.
Choose wisely, because your vote decides our cinematic fate. And believe me, John can't take another Giggle water situation, and neither can his therapist.
A little too soon, bud. A little too soon, Harrison. Anyway, vote now, vote often, vote vocally, and tune in next week to find out who wins. Until then, peace.
Punch.
Give me your frost hammer. Fast 5 number 30. And this week, I'm asking for your vote for a movie called Too Kind. Because sometimes, fuck.
Because sometimes, fuck.
No, I thought it would just happen.
Yeah. That's just the secret sauce at Pizza Gong is volcano sauce. Your crab goon, your pizza goon, calzone crab with volcano sauce.
You want volcano sauce?
You fucking right, I do. Give me the Krakatoa. You're right.
Very Lagerstein. Frogiclaus is the
Frogiclaus is
summer Santa.
It is I, Frogiclaus. I bring you lollipops and lemonade. Frogiclaus.